At that time, I remember I was just out of college. I was working a job, not making much money, and I wasn't into watches. I remember putting this on, and like I said, looking down at my wrist, and I remember thinking to myself how beautiful that dial looked. I remember my wife was right next to me. She was looking at the watch. We were both looking at this watch in awe. Hey everyone, today's March 10th, 2026. Hope all of you had a great day today, and welcome back to the Humble Gent YouTube channel. In my previous video, I lied to you guys. I did a rotation video to show you guys my current watch rotation, the 7 watches I'm currently rotating through on a weekly basis. And I am building my dream collection right now, and in the beginning of my previous video, I said this. Today I'm going to share my current rotation with all of you, and 2 of these watches specific are really important to me. As a watch collector, as a watch enthusiast, I feel like all of us had that point in our lives where we went into an AD or the mall and saw watches that we couldn't afford but tried on, and we said to ourselves, one day I would love to own this watch. 2 of these watches in my current rotation, I have vivid memories. This had to be more than 15 years ago, going into the AD, trying them on, knowing I wasn't going to purchase anything, but thinking to myself, wow, if I was able to purchase this watch, it would be awesome. And knowing I was able to purchase these 2 watches and the rest of my rotation is honestly crazy to me. I told you there was 2 watches where I walked into an AD or went to the mall, tried these watches on way back maybe 15 years ago, knowing I wasn't going to purchase those watches at the time. And wearing those watches thinking to myself, if I can own this at some point, it would be awesome and it would mean I made it. In my previous video, I did go over one of those watches, but I didn't say what the second one was. I just went over my rotation, and I didn't even tell you guys what that second watch was. The first watch that really got me into watch collecting was my first luxury automatic watch, was this watch right here, the TAG Heuer Aquaracer. I had the quartz version, I had the automatic blue that I owned twice of this generation, and now I had this beautiful black dial, black ceramic bezel. Look at the beautiful yellow on the seconds hand and on the dial there. I believe in yellow it says caliber 5. This is such a beautiful watch. But before we get into this, let's do a quick wrist check. Today I am wearing one of my favorite watches in my collection, the IWC Mark 20. I love this beautiful black dial, aftermarket Forstner bracelet, which I absolutely love. I know the OEM bracelet is definitely high quality, but I'm just not the biggest fan of the styling of it. But this presidential style bracelet by Forstner is high quality. Fits great on this watch. I'll take a step back here. Look how nice this looks on my 7-inch wrist. Absolutely stunning. There were 2 watches in my collection I never thought I would own. I remember going to a jewelry store at the mall, and they had an authorized dealer for TAG Heuer. This is my favorite generation Aquaracer, and I believe this generation came out in 2015. I believe there was 2 generations after this one. But this was the last time they made a 41mm Aquaracer that has a 47mm lug to lug. And I love this bracelet because the center link on this bracelet is stepped up a little bit, so it definitely makes it unique. Very basic but good looking clasp here, milled. But this generation here, I absolutely love. Yes, right now this is the most inexpensive watch in my rotation, but at the time, going to the AD, trying this on, knowing that I wasn't going to purchase it, and as of now I own 4 different versions of this generation right here. And I think this black one will definitely be in my collection for a very, very long time. I love how beautiful the black look, how versatile this is, and this bracelet is absolutely stunning. Take a step back here, you can see how it looks. I mean, look at that, 41mm. I believe the newest generation for the automatic one, the smallest one, is still 42mm, and it definitely wears big. This 41mm one fits honestly perfect. That 47mm lug to lug. This watch fits great on a huge variety of wrist sizes. And honestly, I'm not sure if it's nostalgia speaking, but this watch here is my favorite. It has that beautiful teak deck design. Those horizontal lines going across the dial look absolutely stunning. I don't mind the cyclops on this watch at this 3 o'clock here. The new ones have the date at the 6 o'clock, which I don't mind. But for whatever reason, the new ones have a cyclops at the 6 o'clock, which for me, it doesn't look right. I have the new Aquaracers in hand. The quality is great. The new movements are great. I do love how they look. This one right here is definitely my favorite designed Aquaracer. And again, I apologize. My previous video, I did not go over the second watch I never thought I would own in my collection. So the second watch that I thought I would never own, I remember going into this jewelry store with my girlfriend. She's now my wife. This had to be, man, 10, maybe 12 years ago. And at that time, there was no way I can purchase this watch. I remember trying it on specifically on this rubber strap, looking down at my wrist and thinking to myself, look how beautiful this is. If I can wear this on a daily basis, it would make me so happy. Super random thought back then because I was not into watches how I am now. And that's why I love this version of the Aqua Terra. The second watch I never thought I would own in my lifetime was the Omega Aqua Terra. This generation specifically, 41 millimeters with this rubber strap. This is the second version of this generation I owned. I owned the gray blue dial with that blue rubber strap. It was also beautiful. I do love this one more. I think it's more beautiful. And I'm not the biggest fan of orange, but in this case, I made an exception because it is stunning. You have the orange second hand, the orange Seamaster at the 12 o'clock, and you have the orange on this beautiful rubber strap, this gray rubber strap, orange stripes down the sides here. It is absolutely stunning. You have that silver white dial that looks great, and the proportions of this watch are honestly perfect. For me, I love this watch on the rubber strap. I did have the bracelet on my previous one. I never used it. I kept it on the rubber strap. So for this one specifically, I knew I wanted it on the rubber strap. For me, this watch at 41 millimeters is kind of big. It does fit my wrist. I could definitely pull off the 38 millimeter. And let me put this on wrist here. Because this watch is all dial, it definitely does wear big. I believe it's a 48 millimeter lug to lug. I feel like with my body proportions, when I step back, it doesn't look too big when I'm just wearing this around casually. This could easily be an everyday watch. It looks great. This is such a beautiful piece. I remember going to this massive jewelry store. They had all these expensive watches. I remember being so intimidated. At that time, I remember I was just out of college. I was working a job, not making much money, and I wasn't into watches. I remember putting this Aqua Terra on, and like I said, looking down at my wrist, and I remember thinking to myself how beautiful that dial looked. I remember my wife was right next to me. She was looking at the watch. We were both looking at this watch in awe. And now, however long, 12, 13 years later, I've owned several Aquaracers. I have this beautiful collection here. By all means, I'm not extremely wealthy. I save up, I buy watches. I can't buy whatever I want. As a watch enthusiast, as a collector, we always want to buy the watches that we couldn't buy earlier in life. At the time where we couldn't afford those watches, you want to buy those watches now, which is 100% true. This TAG Heuer Aquaracer, maybe 15 years ago, I remember putting this on at the authorized dealer and thinking to myself, if I can own this one day, I knew I made it. I remember a second time, me and my wife were going to Mexico, and I also tried this watch on at the airport, knowing I was not going to purchase it. This TAG Heuer Aquaracer was always in the back of my mind. And one day, if I was able to purchase it, I knew I was going to. Both these watches mean so much to me, and I have some variation of these in my collection always. And another look at the Aqua Terra here. We have the exhibition case back, showing the beautiful Metas 8900 movement by Omega. Absolutely stunning movement for a beautiful watch. This right here is definitely one of my favorite watches of all time. Another watch that kind of has a similar story. It wasn't like the Aquaracer or the Aqua Terra where I went into the authorized dealer, tried them on, and knew I wanted to own them one day if I can. But I remember this watch specifically right here, the Rolex Explorer 1. So out of my current watch rotation, one watch was extremely aspirational once I got into collecting, and it was this watch right here, the Rolex Explorer 1, especially this 39mm one, the 214270 Mark II. Over the years, I've been lucky enough to own several Rolex watches, the GMT Master 2 Pepsi, a vintage Datejust, my current Explorer, and my Rolex Submariner, which I still have, which I'm selling right now. I love the Submariner. It is a beautiful watch, but the Rolex Explorer 1 has a special place in my heart. And at that time, in 2018, the Rolex Explorer 214270 Mark II came out. So the 39mm Rolex Explorer, this beautiful watch right here, which is my favorite Rolex of all time. Several watch YouTubers I loved watching own this watch and hype this watch up so much. and I never thought I would get to a point in my life where I can just purchase this watch. I got this watch about a year ago from someone in my watch group, full set for $7,000. And knowing I was able to just purchase this watch like that, it's something I'm extremely grateful for, but something I never thought I would be able to do in 2018. I also love the story with Sir Edmund Hillary and Mount Everest, but that was the 1016 Rolex, which eventually turned into the Rolex Explorer we have today. And this watch here is honestly stunning. Also watching John Hamm's character in Mad Men wearing the 36mm vintage version of this watch really got me into the Explorer. I love the Explorer 1 because it is the most non-Rolex Rolex you can buy. It is not a flashy Rolex, but it's definitely sophisticated. It can be worn for any occasion, more casual, more dress. You can put a leather strap on here to make it more dressy. I love it on this oyster bracelet, really solid made watch. For me, this 39mm case with that short lug to lug fits perfect on my 7-inch wrist. Look how beautiful this looks on my 7-inch wrist. I love the size of this 39mm one. I can definitely pull up the 36. I'll take a step back here. Take a look at that. Fits perfect on my wrist. This is one of those Rolex watches, if you see someone wearing it, they're definitely a watch enthusiast, a watch collector, and I definitely love that about this watch. Like I said earlier, the watches we wanted before we can afford them are the watches we want today. For me, the Aquaracer had a big part in me getting into watch collecting. Trying this on at the AD, at the airport before I can afford this, definitely makes me appreciate this watch so much more, and it is a beautiful watch. And the second watch, really similar to the Aquaracer, the Aqua Terra by Omega, was definitely another aspirational watch that I wanted before I can afford this. Trying this on at the AD with my wife. Me and my wife absolutely in awe of this, and owning several versions of this today is, like I said, something I thought I would never do. Leave a comment down below if you had a similar experience to me, where at some point you went to an AD or maybe tried on a friend's watch that you absolutely loved but couldn't afford at that time, but ended up buying it later on. So please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a comment down below if you like this style of video. I definitely enjoy making these personal style of videos and sharing my collection journey with all of you. And remember, I do respond back to every single comment I get. And remember to stay humble.
I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.